Hello, July 27th, 2022. Of course, I came again to the Loveland Pass lake area, and I still uh, I was very, very glad that I could come up here because it's a flowers. I think I came down a month before, like at end of June, and I think I already showed the video with the snow patch here and there, but the snow patch is all gone now at the end of July, a month later, and flowers are completely different. I think uh, in June, late June, there's a lot of uh, white flowering uh, plants are there, but now it's like a yellow and also red, which is a Indian paintbrush, is blooming, and so I have been appreciating more and more this area here, and sitting down in this beautiful area. And what do I think? And think about my life. My life has been, of course, ups and down, and mostly down, I would say. um, but there is a up moment too, that you discover the new passions or new hobbies or something like that. That's a tremendously, uplifting to me. Even that was like a hobby level. Um, My the interest, I think, has been pretty much constant. I think it's all along. I think pretty much the same, but you get kind of jaded. You kind of bored with one thing, and you don't do that anymore after a while. And what's next? And you think of it, but it's not like you're looking for something that you are interested in, but these things comes in by accident or something, and takes over after a while. So I went through all that, and I realized that mostly I like the natures, flowers, birds, trees, all these things, and then hiking and camping, I like that. And that's pretty much remained the same. And especially when you get older, if you have, you end up with more time to do those things because you don't work after retirement, right? Okay, so you going back that particular passion, and hiking and camping, it's pretty much the yeah same passion I had, but I didn't have a chance to go when I was younger, and now I kind of have a time to do so. But it's not like from the early spring to the late fall or anything like that. I think only limited to the period where you can comfortably sleep in the mountain. The lows is probably 50s. 40s, yeah, maybe, but 30s, a little bit too cold for me. So I don't like that. I think even the June, for example, the temperature went down about 30 degrees during nighttime. So that's kind of a little bit uncomfortable, but it's not like you cannot, sleep or anything. You still sleep. Yeah, the hiking and the camping is pretty much the constant same, even though you have more chance around this time after retirement. I have more time to do so. But one hobby that I kind of didn't expect to happen to me was the reading books. Books means literature, and I discovered that particular fun because when I was still working and I was commuting. Like one way is like a 45 minutes drive, and coming back 45 minutes or so. Hour and a half time I was just driving in a like a more or less like a country road type of place, and so I picked up the audio CDs and so forth. I started to listen, and that got me get going. I read so many books by doing that because it's much easier. You have time of 1.5 every day, and 5 days a week, and you kind of finish one after the other. So most of the world literature I read by doing that. But of course, during that time, I got into the discovering my favorite author. Haruki Murakami is the one, and Kazuo Ishiguro is another, and the other Japanese is Natsume, Soseki Natsume. And those three, to me, is a giants, and my admiration is always toward them. But the other authors like Melville, Herman Melville, and Hemingway, Steinbeck, um, recently James Joyce, um, there Charles Dickens, and Dostoevsky. All these things are, I could say, uh, plainly, I would think that they are the greatest, and I really, I'm glad that I got to know them before I won't be able to read books later, probably. And I got to know them, and that great appreciative for those world literature. I'm glad that came before. I really felt that yeah, uh, that's the one thing that made me feel young. Just like my cataract surgery. I have a tremendous vision problem and getting to the accidents and so forth in driving car. And but after cataract surgery, I felt like I became like a 20 years old again. And so when I discovered this fun of reading, I felt like I was young again. That particular enjoyment is so strong that I felt I was feeling when I was like a teenager or something, fond of reading. And so that's a very good thing. And that particular change came without any, premonitioning ideas or anything. It just came suddenly. And I'm glad that came. And my old hobbies of loving this nature, wildflowers and so forth, still very, very strong. But once in a while, I felt like, wow, I like to read books instead of just going hiking or something. And that's tremendously interesting. And I still don't have much interest in like a socializing with other people, but what I understand is like that is very, very important for people who are getting old, because one of the way to keep young is to use your language, or use uh, communication skill to use your brain to do so. So that's the one thing that, I don't know how I can accomplish that. Of course, I love friends and people I love. I like to talk to them and so forth. But that's, for everybody, I think it's very, very difficult to do so. You cannot make friends very quickly. My friend, I think about my friend. then that's always when I was a student, because a student is somehow, easy to make friends, especially when I came to the US. I was very, very eager. I was very, very uh, trying to make friends. And, by doing that, I learned, you can make friends with a person you really like. And also, there is a people who, you don't necessarily like, but those people, you don't have to make friends. And that's, I learned in a long, you know, hard way, I would say. And so, but even today, I think about when I was 27, I met several people that I really like, and that they are very, very nice to me. So, yeah, those things changes, and I haven't met them ever since then, and I wonder what they're doing now. And I would like to get back the communication with them, but I don't think they appreciate if I try to open the trying to get in touch with them or something. And so I would not. I think I rather feel that that's maybe many people feel that they should be left alone there. Okay, so it's kind of a tremendously unorganized thoughts of mine, but I felt like it changes and remembering younger days and the changes is nice. Yeah, as well as the could be bad, but I think, yeah,